tiny snail and a great big, great blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails. What? You interrupting me? You gonna wait? These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song. Oh, shimmering ice and coral waves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of a whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish and feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of a whale. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day, the whale lost his way. There are speedboats running a race, zipping and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. Excuse me. This is the tide slipping away, and this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to the sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, the teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool. squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into bay, and these are the villagers shouting, hooray, as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Back to the dock and the flock of the rock, who said, how's time's flown, and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale, oh shimmering ice and coral waves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and oh how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery tail, saved the life of a humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale.
You finished.
Finished.
Do you like William?
Quiet one, and he's holding my hand through
Yeah, I
it.
know. That's so cute.
Hey,
Can't believe.
holding Daddy's hand while he's reading story.
Can't believe.
And we'll read it again. We can read it every day if you want, mate. Hey, you'll get used to listening to it, won't you? And it'll send you to sleep. Hey, the snail and the whale. But Daddy can buy you more of these books because they got a lot of them. Stickman.
Need to have a look more.
Oh, they got loads.
Need to have a look some
Yeah.
Thai book as well. Do you like William? You need more.